Hello everyone and welcome, it's Lainey. This is just an intro for my video. I asked on Instagram if anyone would be interested in seeing how much has changed in my life since this all started, and everyone seemed to be interested, so I've put together some photos with me just voicing over the top. I hope I haven't waffled on too much, but that's probably likely. So please keep watching and thank you very much in advance. Bye. This photo is me in October 2015. It's weird looking at it now that I would even allow this to be shown in public, because I mean, I barely had any photos taken, and just the fact that it says big across my t-shirt, well, 90, is something that would have horrified us at the thought that someone would see that and kind of think, oh, well, that's kind of pointing out the obvious, because technically it is. I probably only allowed this photo because I'd had a few Smirnoff Ices. I don't think I looked very happy at all. It was my sister's 80s themed hen do, which had to be in my house, otherwise it couldn't have happened. I'm not really sure how much I weighed at this point because I didn't get weighed. All I know is this is, I think, one of the biggest pictures I have of myself, and I have nothing that I know of after this point. I was able to still walk then, and I really don't even know how I was doing it. If it just doesn't make sense. It's kind of sad when I see it now, because I know how much I hated myself and how much I hated everything about us, not just the way I looked. But you know, things have changed a lot since then. In January 2017, I went to the hospital, as some of you know, for 6 months. And this picture, where I'm lying down on the bed with my dog, I don't know if you can see that I have an oxygen tube on. I'd been really, really poorly, like seriously poorly, not just mentally, but physically too. I'd had a blood infection and pneumonia. And then my mental health just hit the floor. Um, when I started to feel a bit better, obviously my mood was seriously low, and so they let my daughter bring my dog in. So that's this photo. As you can see by the picture, well, I don't know if you can see, but in this picture, I obviously could no longer walk. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't lift my arms. I was struggling to keep my head up. Um, it's not the nicest thing to look at. You know, I don't know by this time how much weight I'd lost. Um, I was kind of trying to block it out weirdly. I don't know why, but I did. It's kind of like I didn't want to hear it, and it kind of doesn't make sense, but you know, I don't know. So after I started to get better, I asked for the help from the physios because I wanted to get back up, and they did come. I started doing like exercises and things like that, and a few weeks later, from that previous photo, I sat on the edge of the bed, which you can see in this picture. There's a lot of help, but um, it's really hard to look at. I just kind of think that, one, just looking at my face, how sad like my eyes look. I was feeling a lot better both mentally and physically, but I still had a long way to go. As you can see, all the marks on my arms are different, like bloods taken and needles put in, things like that. I also had to have a catheter, which I had for about 3 months, and it was the absolute bane of my life. um, but I wanted this photo taken. I never thought I would share it in public ever, but it was to actually sort of just show my family really that I was sitting around on the edge of the bed. I'm so pleased now to have it, because obviously to be able to look back at these things is amazing. And if you think that, like, a couple of weeks before that, I couldn't sit up, I couldn't roll over, I couldn't do any of it, you know what I mean? It's so weird. And then this next picture is a few weeks later again, although I'm in bed. Jasper's me and my dog, he's been allowed to visit again, but you can see I'm much better propped up in the bed. I still couldn't sit forward because the nurse used to, the sister on the ward, used to reach her arm out to try and get us to reach her hand. But obviously I haven't got the oxygen on now, and my arms are looking much better, much more. So physically, I'd gone from losing the ability to walk, to being bedbound, to building up sitting tolerance, to sitting around on the edge of the bed, to being able to lift my legs off the bed, to be able to lift my arms up, to be able to lift my arms above my head, to be able to sit myself up, to be able to shuffle myself back to sit myself up, to be able to completely sit myself up, like literally from flat. My physio always used to find it strange, because she said, like, I literally, because I don't use anything, and just literally sit myself up. And obviously the core, my core strength had massively improved, I guess, to be able to do that. It took a long time to build all those different things, and over the months and all the times, like, improving and continuing to improve my sitting tolerance and my strength. I mean, I can sit round for like 3 hours. I've done 3 hours now. And considering when I first sat round, I would go really lightheaded, shaky, just the rush of blood to your feet. It does a lot to you. I learned to walk again when I was in hospital. Unfortunately, my knees haven't kept that up. Kept that up. But you know what I mean. I've tried again since, and my knees keep locking, and it just doesn't let us move. I can't even straighten it out or anything. Hoping to get them replaced, but obviously that's further down the line once I've lost more weight. So the next photo is me, obviously, but it's an up-to-date full-length photo really. I look a lot happier. I always think my face just looks happier. And obviously physically my appearance has changed, because I am a lot less wide than I was. Although I've still got a long way to go, I just looking at that and the difference, even I can see, I mean, the difference is 18 stone 3 or 256 pounds, if that works out better. But the weight loss difference in comparison to the mental difference and the physical difference, like, I never thought be more proud of the other two than the weight loss. Don't get us wrong, I'm proud of it, but it's so weird how my mind has changed in that sense. I never believed I could feel the way I do now. Never believed I would think the way I do now. And one of the times when I was walking and I came through my doorway, and I remember how I realised that I didn't have to turn sideways, and even when I did turn sideways to get in a standard doorway, my sides would brush each side of the stencil because I was so big initially. And I realised once when I was walking using the frame, I'd stopped to turn my knee straight, and when I stopped to turn my knee straight, I realised I was in the doorway and neither side of us was touching the sides. And it was just like an amazing feeling. Like the cheesy grin I had at the time was just unreal. I did write notes and I've literally not looked at them. I'm really good at that. I just want to check through that what I haven't missed out. So in terms of the weight loss, obviously there's the 18 stone 3. There's the being able to buy clothes from the high street, the visual difference, being in smaller clothes. There's probably a lot more. I'm struggling to remember everything. Mentally, I feel like a different person. I've kind of been down to the lowest point, and I guess the only way was up. I feel so much stronger as in myself. I'm much more confident and have a high self-esteem. I believe in myself. I love who I am. I don't have any self-hate anymore, which is the weirdest thing ever after having it for over 30 years. Like, not to have that voice in my head telling us I'm not good enough, and like just absolutely being horrific to myself. Far more horrific than anyone on the street could ever have been. And to not have that come when I gained some of the weight back, I gained a stone, of which I've lost £10 off now. I gained a stone after not being able to get weighed for 13 months, and just not having that, I had such fear of having that voice come back, of having that feeling of failure come back, of having all those things that sent us in a spiral down so many times before, and it just didn't happen, and it just didn't come, and it's so weird. And even now, saying it out loud, it's just so weird for that not to have happened. It's great, don't get us wrong, it's absolutely amazing. Like, I can't begin to be so pleased by it, but I still just can't get used to it because I've had it for, like, 30 plus years. So, and for it just not to happen was amazing. So also, like, going back out into the world, I thought that might bring like all my fears back a little bit, and it didn't, because I've like, I worked out that I went outside from the first day I went outside on my own. I went round the block, wasn't far, and it was the first time I'd gone anywhere on my own in 8 years, and that just amazing sort of independence, and it's just, etched in my mind. The 14th of May was that day, and it's etched in my mind. And then I remember writing down, I think it was back in August, that between May and August, out of 140 days, I'd gone outside 125 times in them. And prior to that, I'd left the house 30 times in 10 years. At least 10 years, probably. And they'd have all been most likely to hospital appointments or something. And like, that's just, it's madness. And I have had issues, and I've gone out like there's been the odd comments, there's been the stares, there's been whatever, but it just, I won't let anyone bother us anymore. I won't, like, I refuse to let anyone have that control over how I feel. Like, I know I'm a nice person, you know, I've got my faults, as do we all, and I won't allow someone else now to control how I feel about me, even though I always felt that about me, if that makes sense. But then for them to confirm it, I guess. Whereas now I'm kind of like, you know what? We all have our issues, and I don't judge anyone else. And I've had moments of like sadness when I kind of thought, oh, all this time that's been wasted, all this stuff that I could have done, and all these things. But I can't dwell on that, because where will that get us? Nowhere. It won't. It won't get us anywhere. I can't change what's done. It's done. It's just impossible. So as I said, physically, I got back on my feet twice. I was able to roll over. And, I was able to fit through the normal doorways, as I said. Sitting up, lifting my arms above my head, sitting around on the bed, lifting my legs up. You know, there's been loads. Obviously, my body's got stronger. I've got, like, apart from the hanging skin on my arms, I've got biceps like The Rock. Partly because I'm pulling me about, but still. And speaking of the skin, weirdly, it doesn't bother us. Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't want it not here, if that make if someone, if you know, if there was like a magic wand and it could just be gone, then yeah, of course I would. But there's kind of a part of us that thinks it's a good thing, if you know what I mean. Like, one of my things now is to look for the positive, and the positive of having loose skin means that I've lost weight, so that's a positive. And I kind of look at it as like a like the weight loss Olympics almost, in the sense of, you know, I may have getting bronze. I've now got the bronze of the weight loss Olympics in terms of skin, sagging skin, and the aim is to get the gold. You know what I mean? And so right now, that's the way I look at it, and I'm hoping that I always feel that way. But who knows? You know, who knows what the future holds? And as I said, look, like I said, now I look for the positive in things and I focus on the good, because I could focus on all the stuff that's happened. And it, you know, it's been mind blowing to get to this point. Like, it's been mind blowing from the things that I've done and didn't done, from the things that I've done, from the frustrations that's happened, whether it's been I've had so many missed appointments. I've had so many times that the things went wrong, or, you know, there was delays, and it's been one thing after another, you know. And I've now got the ability to fight for those things, which I never did before, like, because I didn't believe I deserved it, is the truth. And it's the same with, like, doing changes to myself, you know, like dealing with things like through the doctors and stuff like that. For instance, like my teeth, I had like a bridge fitted, and it was broken, and then I've had it fixed, and although it's a denture on the top, but it looks pretty good considering it's a denture. It's come that had been in for 22 years when they were only meant to be in for 10 anyway. And, you know, just dealing with those things, dealing with life. I just put this last picture in, which is just me, my face, and I just think, you know, with the makeup on, and actually feel good about myself, and care, which I didn't for a long time. And I kind of now, I want everyone to know that things can be different. Like, I know there's loads of other people out there who were like me, who were stuck, who were living in the darkness, who were not leaving their house, who were addicted to something or other, whether it be food, drink, alcohol, drugs, whatever. You know, we all do things to make ourselves feel better, but the problem is when you do it repetitively and then it affects your life. And I want people to know that you can get help, you know, even mental health, you know, get help with that it isn't you. Like, so many times that I've, you know, I never ever believed I could feel this way, because I truly, truly believed that the way I felt before was me, was how it was, you know. And so it just goes to show how much difference it is. And I kind of think that with addictions, it's getting to the cause of it. So mine stemmed back from, it started when I lost my grandparents when I was a child, and I used food to control and calm the environment, and that went on throughout my life. The only time I never, you know, I could eat whatever food, and I wouldn't say I particularly enjoyed it, really. It just silenced. It just silenced me head. It silenced me head and made us feel calm for that time that I was eating. And I guess that works the same for alcohol, for drugs, for anything else that anyone else uses or needs to get through. I mean, obviously to an extreme, you know. But I guess I just want to kind of end this on, like, saying, you know, if you watch this and maybe you think that, like I did, that things will never change, they do, and they can, and they will. And it's not going to be easy, and it'll take time. But when you look back, you know, you can truly see how much life has changed. Like, and that's just, like, phenomenal. Like, my life has changed in ways that I never ever believed possible. And yet, anything is possible, it seems. Just about. Anyway, I will end this here. Thank you very much to everyone for listening. And I've probably missed a whole ton of stuff out, but I tried to fit it all in. If you have any questions or anything, please comment below. Please like, subscribe, share with anyone that you may think it would help. If it does help, that would be great. Ring the bell when you do subscribe so you get notifications every time that I post. And yeah, thank you.